Today, I sat down with my beautiful client, Tanya, who has been a personal trainer within an Anytime Fitness gym for the last 4 years. Within that time, she has built her business to over 3K per week, coaching more than 50 clients between online and in person, goes on multiple overseas holidays per year, and decided she wanted to trade her Brisbane business in for the Gold Coast lifestyle, moving to the Gold Coast and rebuilding her business down there. In this video, we have a chat about what it took her to build her business to where it is now and what mindset shifts she believes personal trainers need to get to be where she is in business. Enjoy. Hey, Tan. I'm so excited to have you on today. Hey, girl.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you and I have been working together. You and I have been working together for quite a long time now. And what you have achieved in business has been just phenomenal. And watching you grow from like a brand new trainer into the amazing sought out coach that you are today has been just such a highlight of, my business career. And so, yeah, I just wanted to have a little chat about your journey, what you've achieved, what you've overcome, and yeah, we'll go through some advice that you have for future trainers and stuff as well. So, yeah, how about we start with the beginning?
Yeah,
Tell me,
okay.
yeah, tell me a little bit about what it was like, or why did you start personal training to begin with, and what it kind of felt like for you starting a personal training business.
Yeah, okay. So, well, I started personal training in 2023. So, I started that because, well, honestly, it was because I had a really, really rough year the year before, and I was stuck in a job that was no longer really serving me, and I had a few hard things go on in my life, and I just felt like I was in a bit of a loop, like just kind of day in, day out doing the same thing, not getting anywhere towards where I wanted to be. And I guess when you go through some hard things, you realize that you only get one life, and like
Mm.
you may as well do what you want to do and actually enjoy it. And doing the same thing every day, working in retail, just was not what I wanted to do forever. And I guess I'd always grown up doing sport and like I loved going to the gym and all those sort of things. I did my degree a couple of years before that in exercise and nutrition science. And then I did my Cert 3 and 4, but I never actually used that stuff. I just like had the information, had the knowledge, and just continued to work this retail job. So then in 2023, started year, decided that that was enough. I was done with that, and I wanted to help women get started in the gym. And so I quit my retail job and went all in on PT, jumped headfirst into the bloody deep end, whatever the saying is, because I didn't have any other choice, so I had to make it work because I quit my job. And so that's where it started. And obviously, I worked with like anyone then when I first started, because it was my first PT, but shifted slowly into realizing that I wanted to help more women gain confidence in training, nutrition, just learning to actually go to the gym, get more people going to the gym and actually using it to be not just fit for the gym, but fit for life.
Yeah, so good, so good. I mean, when you start as a brand new PT, this goes for all people, but I know that you did the same. Like, yeah, like you said, you work with a lot of different people, and it took you a bit of time to find your niche and your messaging and really nail the group that you have now, which is so cool. I know that you've now launched your confidence code, which has been so cool, but along the journey, you kind of tried like a few like fat loss things, some fitness things, like challenges and that kind of stuff, and until you found your feet with what you're doing now, which is so cool. But yeah, it's really cool because you and I obviously met through a unique circumstance, right? Like your gym was paying for mentoring for you, which is phenomenal. Like I'm sure so many people listening will be so jealous of that. And then obviously you decided to continue on with me, which was really cool. So, um, what kind of things did you find the hardest when you were starting out? What were you really frustrated with in the beginning?
Um, a lot of things. I think going into PT, you go in to think, oh, I'm just going to help people lift lots of weight in the gym or lose weight or whatever it's going to be. But it's actually running a business. And I think in your course and like even in my degree or like, yeah, my cert, you do one unit on business management or whatever it is. And it was, I know I did like that a year or two before I even started PT. So it's not like I was fresh in the knowledge of business. And so going into it, there's so many other parts to PT than just, yeah, lifting in the gym and helping people lift weight. like running a business, client management, sales, marketing, advertising, like so many aspects that you would have no idea going into. And so I think going in it's quite overwhelming, and even going in as like a new PT as well, you're expected to you get a time frame, right, with the build up phase and rent. So you get a time frame to get a certain amount of clients so that you're making enough money to pay your rent. So then there's the time frame aspect, there's the overwhelm, there's the lack of confidence in like yourself as not only a PT, but then, you know, you don't have any systems or structure in place. So then you're getting fucked over by clients and members and things like that. And you're told so many different things from so many different people of like what you need to be doing. And it's just a lot. It's just quite overwhelming.
Yeah, I definitely hear that a lot with people. And so it's so good to have someone in your corner, just like, it's okay, just focus on this one thing. I literally had a chat with one of my PT mentor clients today about that. If you feel overwhelmed, just let me know because I can help you sift through, and just having someone that's like not in your head, just go, hang on, just take a breath, focus on this one thing, and then
Yeah.
do that and work on that first. Like, yeah, it makes such a big difference, doesn't it? Because, yeah, honestly, you know what I found a lot, and even when I did my course years ago, is you get told that you're going to make 150K a year and you're going to coach all these people, and you're like, fuck yeah. Like, you get into a gym and you're like, where are the clients at?
Girls, where's everyone at? Who wants to work with me? Like,
Hello, I'm
I'm
here.
like, no one's texting me, screaming at my door, wanting to train. It's crazy. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, where are they at?
Yeah, but it's like with the overwhelm thing as well, like it's just like having a PT client. Like if you have a mentor, you have a coach, whoever it is, like that's who supports you. Like that's why clients get coaches and that's why coaches get mentors. Like you
Mhm.
need someone to just be in your corner, keep you accountable, simmer things down, like give you a bit more clarity. Like, yeah, why would someone not want a mentor, like to start off, especially like when you're starting off at the gym? Like they go hand in hand, like that's what I always think about. Like business and fitness go hand in hand in a way. Like if you don't do the work or like if you don't get the support, like it makes getting the results much harder.
100%. 100%. I remember you saying to me one day, I can't remember exactly how you said it, but you were basically like, yeah, why wouldn't I get a mentor that has been through all of that, that can fast track me not having to go through all that shit? Like, you week to week, you just showed up to each session. You took all my suggestions, you ran with it. Sometimes you made it even better, which was always my hope for you, right? Like you just go, oh, this will work better doing it this way. And it's just having those ideas and going, okay, this is why I wouldn't do that, and this is why I would do this. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you're just working it out yourself and running with it. And yeah, it does help you succeed so much faster. The same thing, once I finally found a mentor, it just, my business took off and it was like, oh, and having a mentor is expensive, like you're investing in that and it can be a scary investment, right? But I'm pretty sure it's Alex Hormozy talks about how the best investment you can make is in yourself, right? So learning the skills of business can make you so much more money. I remember him saying one day, would you pay $100,000 if someone could make you back 1 million that year or whatever? And people are like, hell yeah. And it's like, well, a mentor might be 10 grand or 5 grand or whatever. But if that mentor helps you make over $100,000 that year, is that not worth it? Like to me, that's a no-brainer. Um, Obviously finding a mentor that is going to do that because everyone's a mentor these days now. So, it's just making sure that you're finding someone that aligns with what your goals are, who you are as a person, and how you coach and respects how you coach as well.
Yeah, and
Um,
definitely like the values and things like that as well are really important. Like because there's a lot of different mentors with a lot of different like strategies and ways they coach or the ways that they believe in, but you want someone that is either flexible with how you want to be and it can help you with that, or they align with you, I feel.
100%. I mean, a coach's job is to pull the best out of their client, right? It's not to, yell at them and tell them they're doing things wrong and the wrong way. It's to guide them. And a mentor is there to go, hey, this is what's worked for me, and this is how you can implement it in your way. And so, yeah, I've definitely noticed some mentors that are like, nope, you're doing it wrong. Like it's got to be this way. And I have spoken to some of my clients that have experienced that, and it's quite off-putting, it's scary, and then to feel like you're doing something wrong and then it doesn't feel right. Because I know for you, right, because when you have a mentor, most of the time you try and mimic what they do because it's worked for them, right? And so I remember one time you were implementing, I think, an 8-week challenge it was, and I think we were working with fat loss, so correct me if I'm wrong, right? And the 8-week challenge didn't go 100% well. And I think at the end of it, we realized that it didn't sit right with you how you were teaching it. I think you
Mm.
were trying to do my method. And so so next time you took kind of like the bones and the structure of it, and then you implemented the way you wanted to teach your clients, and it just went off, right? And
Yeah.
that was amazing. And I think that's really cool for you just as a human being able to recognize that something doesn't fit right for you and to just mold it into your own. And I think that's a skill in itself that some people lack, which is okay because I think you can mimic someone to a degree. And I think that's really important and go, oh, that's working for them. I'm gonna do those things. And then being able to be flexible and change things as you go to really build something out. But you could have easily have gone, no, this doesn't work and like quit, but you didn't. You remolded things to the way you wanted it to be. Do you remember running that?
Yeah,
That's
I remember doing that fat loss one, and I remember even at the start when I was trying to promote it and things like that. I didn't promote it as much in, like I didn't get as many people in, and then I don't like I think I got some results obviously from like a couple people, but then there was a lot of drop off, and I just didn't really like it that much. And yeah, it was just because I just didn't align with the way I was trying to sell it, which was the way you would sell it, I think. And
yeah.
so I think from that I did make a lot of changes, but I also learned a lot more about like my values as well in it. Like, so like, because it made me feel icky. And so I was like, why is this making me feel like this? And like, I learned a little bit more about that. And now coming to like now when I'm coaching and things like the friction that I had around that sort of topic and fat loss and things like that, that was a lot because of who I was then and like how I believed in fat loss and things like that.
Mm.
And like the way I would do it now, I don't have that kind of friction anymore. Obviously, I'll do it differently still, but like I've learned a lot from doing those things and doing them not wrong, but like not doing them that right way at the time to learn more about, yeah, how I am, who I am as a coach, and like what I can do now is because of that.
And how cool is that that you can recognize that doing it that way to start with, although it didn't work for you, it taught you so much, and that's why you're more successful now. And I think that's what holds a lot of coaches back, right? Like they're too worried about getting it all perfect, and then it doesn't feel right in themselves, so they hold themselves back. They don't launch the thing, they don't push for it, they don't do the work, and they don't understand why, and they never get that growth because they didn't do the thing that didn't work to begin with, if that makes sense. That was a
Yeah.
whole mouthful, but yeah, like you've got to try things out. I'm pretty sure I've run a different challenge every single time I've ran it. But over the years, like I used to run, I don't know, like 21-day detoxes and back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like that is
Yeah.
not how I would coach now, obviously. And I don't beat myself up for doing that back in the day because that's taught me, how I want to coach. But also it was a reflection of me as a coach and what I was going through, exactly like you in my own fitness journey as well, which is cool. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I guess. I mean, how much has your own fitness and mindset and having your own, say, fitness coach help you as a coach? Because this is one thing I find with personal trainers is some of them have never had a personal trainer or a coach or haven't even done their own, fitness challenge and you don't, as a coach, you don't have to have a fat loss goal or anything like that, but I truly believe that you should have some sort of goal, like something that you're working towards so that you can show that you do the hard things and that you can put yourself through the process that you require your clients to. And I
Yeah.
know that you've done that, right? Like you're into CrossFit and high rocks and you do fat loss and muscle building phases as well. So, like, how much has that helped you as a coach by putting yourself through the journey?
Um, well, I think lots. It's helped a lot, obviously. I think first with your first question about having a coach, actually, like I think I would really struggle to be a PT if I didn't have a coach. Like I learned a lot from my coach that I had. And like I've had a PT when I was younger and it was not great. Like it was a fine experience, but it wasn't great. Like it was just like I think I learned from him. It was a guy and like he had that view on the fat loss thing and like everything had to be a certain way. There was no like flexibility with it. Like my one really so rad, this is off topic, but he had like we had to do a squat and I was squatting, right? And I was like, I reckon my hips were about that high, right? Maybe there. And he's like, you're not parallel, you need to get lower. And then wouldn't give me any sort of how to do it sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so like, and he would just be like, oh, you just need to get lower. Like that would be like it. And it's like, well, I can't. Like I physically can't. And also, why do I need to be perfect at a squat? Like I'm just at the gym. I'm like 16 years old.
Yep.
Like it's not that deep. And so I think like learning from that as one experience that I don't want to be. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be this like cookie cutter. It doesn't want to be like you have to do it this way or there's no other way like that. I don't want to be like that. And then I've had another coach where they were really educated. And I enjoyed that aspect of it, like super educated based, like university degree, like that's what I prioritize. And that's something that I, as myself as a coach, want to have. Like it's a very education based coaching system. But without having like a coach, I wouldn't really understand what it would feel like to like yeah, go through the process or what it would be like to even have a coach. Like you kind of are going in blind anyway, being a PT. So, and like the only thing you would see would be like what would be on Instagram, I guess, of what a coach would do and what would look like. And so having my own coach, one, I learned a lot about myself and my values, and it taught me a lot about my the sticky stuff I talked about with like fat loss and things like that came out a lot with that coach, which taught me a lot about how I want to be going forward. And
Mm.
like there were some positives, some negatives there. Um, but then also just like some of the structures they would do, like how they would run their check-ins, how they would run um, like their actual coaching, their training, like all that sort of thing was really helpful in just showing me what it looks like inside of a coaching place. Um, because I did like a fat loss phase with them. I did a running program with them, like, and I think my business got a lot better when I was working with him as well, like working with a coach as well, just because I was doing all the things that one made me feel better, made me feel good. I had something to work towards. Like my life wasn't revolved just around my business, it was also revolved around like me and what I was doing. And I think from then, like I think I got him at the end of my first year. So like from then, like I had a mentor, you, and I also had a coach. Like you have such a support, like if you have a bigger support system, it
Yeah.
just helps you so much in every area.
So true. I love that. Like, and the fact that even a bad coach teaches you a lot. Like sometimes they teach you more,
Yeah.
because if you know what it feels like to experience that as a client, then you can appreciate how your clients feel if you show up that way or something as well. And it just teaches you so, so much. So thanks for sharing that because I love that. And I feel like I've had very similar experiences to you. And that's definitely made me the coach that I am. I mean, I've been in the industry for 17 years, right? Like I've had plenty of coaches and mentors over the period of time. And each of them have taught me a lot about what I want to do and what I don't want to do, and yeah, it's been so good. So I want to go back to obviously, you were talking about your first year, you're kind of finding your feet, and then your second year, you got another coach and you really launched because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, your second year was like a real ramp up, like your second year as a PT.
Yes.
Um, so obviously you survived fine in your first year, like you were doing fairly well, you were implementing, but it took some time for you to figure out and trial and error everything, right? So,
Yeah.
obviously you earned a bit of money in your first year, definitely. And
Yeah.
then tell us about like what were the big changes? Because I know that you're a consistent like 3 week coach now, right? And you've got the freedom and the lifestyle, and we'll touch on that in a second as well. But what do you think were like the biggest game changers to you to get you from, say, because a lot of trainers at the moment, I would say sit between 1,800 to 1,200 a week with one-to-one sessions, right? Like they're starting to feel like, where do I get more clients from? They don't have time to maybe run as many comp sessions. Maybe they have another part-time job to survive and they're just feeling like overwhelmed with all the things and they don't know how to grow. So I don't know if you remember when you were like at 800 to $1,200 a week coach, maybe sometime in your first year. What do you think took you from that to your 3K weeks, do you think?
So the first thing that would have been, well, obviously would be just having like more knowledge and structure and obviously time under my belt. Second thing would be my confidence in myself. Like I started to build a little bit more confidence. Was not fully confident in myself yet, but we got there in the maybe a little bit longer. And then the third thing would have been implementing my group training.
Hmm.
That would have been the third thing.
Groups was like, oh, for you, my goodness. But you didn't start off with full groups when you first began, right? You didn't even sell out your first group program, did you?
I had 3 people in my first group.
Yeah, 3 people. And then it was probably a little bit of a grind from there just to get like, a regular four in. And then obviously, as you built confidence, it took off.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like I think when I first started, it was like a group of 3, and they were like clients that I already had one-on-one. I just like forced them to be. in a group. I gave them t-shirts. I made it a big deal. I posted all about it. And then after the first one, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I want to like, and I'm like, will I get more people in? And then I just kept pushing it. I think I got a group of four. And then after that, I got maybe two groups of four. And then I started building it that way. And I think my top was I got up to three groups of two of six and one of four. And so I had whatever that is, 18 people in groups. Um, but that took like a fair few tries, obviously. But having the groups was so helpful in just like saving me time. But it also just built that community as well, which was so fun. And I really enjoyed that aspect. Um, but I think with the groups as well, like it did teach me a lot about, yeah, continually to keep pushing something just because it doesn't work once or like the first time, it doesn't mean it's not going to. And I think that happens with a lot of maybe PTs, I'd assume. But they're, it does, they don't get a client in the first week. And so like, oh, well, it's not going to work. Or like they don't get the clients that they wanted to as fast as possible. And like, they're like, oh, well, it's never going to work out then. But the longer you're in something, you're going to grow anyway. And so if you stay in it, even if you put in the bare minimum, which I don't think you should do, but if you put in the bare minimum, the longer you stay in it, the more you're gonna build it anyway. It's just compounding. It's just how it works.
Mm.
So if you then also add in the work and like keep trying and not giving up when it starts getting hard, then it's gonna compound a lot faster, and you're gonna build up the business or the clients or whatever you are trying to build up a lot faster than if you are to like, yeah, drop off or give up or not stay in it, I guess.
Yeah. Spot on. Like, and I definitely see that a lot, but it's also making it not mean something about you as well. Like, I think a lot of trainers can take things really personally when people say no to personal training or they don't nail something straight away. I don't know where this perfectionism comes from. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. But like, where everything needs to be perfect, needs to be filled. And then if they don't fill their group, then it's like, oh, I've failed. But it's like, instead of thinking that you've failed, stepping back and going, okay, cool. It worked for these two. How can I get two more of these guys in? All right. So this marketing didn't work. So I'll change this, or this didn't work. So I'll change that. Excuse me. I know that when you first started, I think you did maybe 12-week groups. Then we might have dropped back to 10 weeks. And then you ended up with 11 weeks because that worked really well. People might be like, 11-week programs? What the hell?
Works in my calendar so I can go on holiday.
Right?
It's just what it works.
Work it around the holidays. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it just working it around your business, it seems very scary to some people because some people are just like, obviously, when you first start as a PT, you want to say yes to everybody. So you're working around a lot of other people, but what you've done beautifully is worked your business around your lifestyle and what you wanted. And I know that we would sit down and go, when are your holidays? And then we'd book in your groups around that and we'd just market the hell out of it around that time, which was really cool. So because if you're going on holidays and you have the freedom and you're enjoying your life, you're going to enjoy your business a lot more. And that's the point. If your business is feeling stressful and heavy and ick, then you're not going to want to show up. You're not going to want to do the things. It's not going to grow. And then next minute, you're sitting at a full-time job, like also unhappy. Like you
Yeah.
just,
Literally,
oh,
like you may as well be unhappy and grind for just a little bit to then feel happy and be happy with everything. Otherwise, instead of giving up and going back to something that is not going to change, like you have the choice to change it. Like having your own business, like you have so much more freedom and choice. Like, yes, you definitely work harder and you work more hours, obviously, because it's your business and you care about it and you want it to work and blah, blah, blah. But if you can figure out ways to make it work with your life and find that balance, you can still work really hard and then whatever that looks like for you, you'll be able to add in like the balance side of things. Like for me, I like to work really hard for a period and then go on a holiday. Whereas some people might want to like not work as hard, but like work less hours and work hard in those hours so they have more time in the afternoon or something. Like that's the beauty of having your own business because you get to make the rules on
yeah.
like what it looks like.
I love that. I'm also a sprinter, not a marathon runner, is what I like to call it. Work hard, rest hard. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. And I've loved watching all the holidays that you've gone on. It's so, so good. Um, I just want to ask you, because you touched on like obviously confidence has helped you get to where you are, but what would you say has helped you build confidence? Because there are definitely a lot of coaches out there, they're like, oh, I'm just not confident enough, and people feel like they need to have the confidence to do the things. I don't want to share my answer just yet as to what I think, but like, what kind of worked for you to build your confidence to be the coach that you are now?
To build my confidence, I think it was a few things, but Well, the first thing, honestly, is blatantly, it's just like doing the reps and
Mm.
consistently doing it and doing it and doing it. And like, I'm
Even
in
if it's uncomfortable.
yeah, like I'm in my what fourth year now. So this is my fourth year of PTing. And like I'd say last year was the first like I probably felt fully confident like in my abilities, right? Like and not always obviously, but like I started to really believe in what I was doing and I was helping people and I could be a good coach and like all those kind of things. And so that took me what 2 years
Mm.
till actually I felt like that. And obviously I didn't come into this job being like the most confident person. Like I was always fairly confident in like myself, but not like my body and like not my abilities. And I've really always struggled with those kind of areas. And so I guess it all comes down to like a lot of things really, because like that first year I lacked confidence, but I quit my job and I had to make it work. So like it wasn't like oh, I'm not confident enough. I won't be able to. I just had to do it because otherwise, what was I gonna do? Like I was not gonna just quit PT and go back to my retail job. Like, ugh, embarrassing. I'm not doing that. I'd be even more unhappy. And so like that was the one thing. Like I was kind of forced. I forced myself into doing the hard thing,
Mm.
and then you just have to make it work, right? So it's not even about the confidence. It's about just you have to do it. Like I didn't believe I was a good PT because I'd never done it before. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get these people to lose the 5 kilos that they so hardly requested. Like, I knew the math, I knew how to do it, but like, I'd never actually gotten someone to do it before. And so, like, that first year, you're creating your first transformations, you're building people's strength. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're just kind of like, you understand the science behind it. Like, I understand the science, but doing it practically, you're like, well, let's hopefully they. Hopefully they lose the weight, like, and then you get the results at the end. You're like, oh, cool! Like I
Yeah,
can do
that worked.
it all worked. All those degrees and certs I've got makes sense. Phew, thank God for
Told
that.
you, I told you it would work.
As I always believed in it. Don't worry, I knew this would work. Like that would be probably the one thing. Like, yeah, just doing the reps is the main thing, and then having, like the support and not only in a mentor but in a coach, like for me as a person as well. Like getting like training more consistently and like I did lose some weight, but I also just found like a healthier lifestyle. Um, and like I obviously had, well, I have like a chronic condition, obviously, and so learning to live with that as well makes it a bit harder, but learning to like have a healthy lifestyle, manage that, do the things that make me feel good, and then having support in my business from you and like making sure like having someone in your corner just be like, yeah, yeah, that's right. Like, yeah, you're doing that. Yep, that's how we're doing it. Like just to have that support helps you so much more as well. So I'd say, yeah, reps under the bar, building confidence, having support helped a lot. But also, I guess, like, yeah, getting some more results. And then in the last year, like, I just started doing, like, I had created this big community of people and like, I started doing more events or doing more things with them and like getting more traction and like it kind of just proves to you that what you're doing is working and getting more like I know it sounds like a bit surface level, but like testimonials of people actually telling you that like you've changed my life or like you've done this, like I wouldn't be here without you or like I wouldn't feel like this without you. Like those little things as well helps build your confidence and like it's not even that like it's not even like a numbers or anything. It's just like knowing that even if you've only helped 3 people, but you've changed 3 people's lives, that's 3 people's lives that most people won't change in their life. Like, and it's just those little things help build your confidence. But yeah, just learning to also just believe in what you're doing is actually working and getting the proof is helpful as well.
100%. Like you just have to believe that it's going to work, like you said, and hope for the best. And you just keep doing the reps until there's the evidence that it does work. And it does work. I mean, you're here, like doing what you're doing, coaching more than 50 clients with all this time freedom in your week, all this, income to go overseas multiple times a year, to do all these incredible things. And not only that, at one point you decided, you know what, I'm done with Brisbane. I'm ready to shift my life to the Gold Coast, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you were able to just, because you'd put in the reps, built the system, built everything up, you're able to just like pick up and move to build the life of your dreams. And like you are just phenomenal, honestly, because a lot of people in their lifetime will sit back going, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't," having every excuse as to why they can't build the life that they want. And the fact that you quit your full-time job, you went all in, you did the reps, you showed up with multiple coaches, you just got it done, even though you're like, fuck, I don't know if this will work. Oh well, let's hope, and then you've built this incredible business and you were making over 3K a week in your Brisbane business. And then you just went, you know what, I want the beach life and packed it up to move. Like that must have been firstly pretty nerve-wracking, but also exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
Actually share a little bit about that because I know that obviously building that system that you had for the few years beforehand has allowed you to obviously be able to put your clients online and then restart the business. And I know you were super successful when you got to the Gold Coast, but there must have been some time where you were a bit like, oh,
Yeah, I did not think it was going to work out for a hot minute there. I was like, oh, and like convincing some of those clients that I'd had for some of them I'd had for years, like since I'd started, I'd had a couple of the girls that were still working with me, trying to convince them to go online or having to say goodbye to them as well. Like that was so hard. And then moving, you're like, well, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Like I hadn't ever restarted. Like I'd only ever started as a new PT. I'd never moved before. I hadn't moved cities before, hadn't moved gyms before. Like it was all new things and it was a brand new gym. Like it was like a lot of newness going into it, which is always terrifying. And like there was a lot of doubt going into it that like it wouldn't work or like maybe the clientele there would be not my vibe or like I wouldn't be able to find enough clients to get stable and all those sort of things. So like having to, and then like also having to, because it is dependent on your finances, right? Like moving to the Gold Coast is a much more, it's a much more expensive lifestyle. Like it's expensive. And so knowing that I'd have to pay rent and house rent and, I was moving back into like another share house situation. So like bills, utilities, like all those kind of things gets to be a lot of money. And so going into it, again, I guess I just had to kind of make it work. Like I built up my online enough to like kind of hold me stable. Um, Trying to convince like some clients to get into online. Um, and then having to start face to face up fresh when I got here, but having a stable base with online that when I could move, I was at least making enough money to be okay with that. And then going to face, I got that build up period again. So knowing that I wouldn't have to pay rent to the gym for a few weeks was like obviously helpful and to make sure that I could build that up again. But just going in with, yeah, like having done it not done it before, but like having the system set and like knowing what does work, having a good sales process, like doing all the strategies and things when I first get started, actually putting in the work from day dot, not just waiting around hoping for the best. Like, because obviously being a PT for a few years now, like I've seen a lot of PTs not do the thing, and like I've seen a lot of PTs, yeah, fail. And so knowing that not doing the work and just expecting isn't going to get me there. So I guess moving over, I just went all in again and just had to make it work because if it didn't work, I wouldn't be able to live here.
I
And
think
then I'd have to move back.
right. Yeah. So it's like that, almost like you blackmail yourself, right? I've definitely done that before. It really works. It really does. Creates a lot of stress, but it also makes you move. Someone was talking to me the other day about how mice move faster when there's fire behind them rather than when they're chasing cheese.
Mm,
And it's just that theory. It's like, that, well, I don't want that, so I am going this way and just making it happen. And I think would you sign 16 clients in your first 2 weeks?
yes.
Yeah. Like just exact systems you'd learned, you'd trialed and errored, so then you got in. And I mean, I know what it's like moving to a new gym. Like I've moved multiple times, as you know, like obviously with a husband in the Air Force and stuff. And even after 10 years of being a PT, moving into a new gym was still nerve-wracking because I was like, fuck, what if they don't like me? What if this doesn't work? And then you're like, well, shit, I've signed the contract. I better bloody make it work?
Yeah, exactly. Forced into it.
So one last question, like what do you think is one major thing that is maybe two questions. One major thing that's holding mindset thing that holds trainers back and what's some advice you have for them. So I have one that I think, but I really want to hear yours. What do you see in trainers, like some of the things that they say or think or act that really holds them back from being a successful trainer like yourself?
I'd say there's two things. The first one would be like that there's a lot of expectations of like what it looks like to be a successful coach, I guess, with the online world come out. Like I feel like that is one thing that is kind of it's putting a bit of a skewed perspective on what coaching is and how it looks because like you'll see online everyone's making millions, they're making 600K month like years, all these crazy things, right? But they're working on their laptop doing all these things. So there's like a lot of this like perception of what it looks like to be a successful coach. But then I think the other thing is just like people just don't work very hard and they just give up as soon as it gets hard. Like just fucking do more work. Like, just try a little bit harder. Like, oh, people don't want PTs. Oh, like, no one's replying to me. Oh, I don't want to post. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, saying hello to someone's terrifying. Like, you
Yeah.
work a people-facing job. You've chosen this job. You choose this life. You've literally chosen to do this.
Mhm.
Just do the work. Um, like if you don't do anything, nothing's gonna happen.
Mm.
Like if you believe that no one wants PT, then no one's gonna want PT. Like I don't know what these people are thinking. Like if you don't do the work, if you don't reach out, if you don't grind, like you're only letting yourself down and you're like it's only affecting you. Like it doesn't affect them. They don't have a PT already, so you not being a PT for them it doesn't affect them. All it is affecting you, your finances, your life, your belief in yourself. Like
I mean, you are doing them a disservice by not helping them when you know that you can as well. Like,
true.
you've become a qualified coach, you've invested the money in yourself. You can help people fast track their results or get healthier or feel better in themselves or reduce depression or, increase body positivity. And you have the ability to do that. And you're not doing that by holding yourself back and not going and talking to that person or not calling the leads, not selling your service at
Yeah.
that point of sale. Like it is a disservice for these potential clients because you could be helping them. It's like seeing someone, nearly break their back on the leg press or something, and then you just walk past. You don't do that because you have a duty of care as a trainer to help people on the gym floor. And so you not backing yourself and helping these clients. You are doing the wrong thing, I truly believe, because you got to get out there. And if you don't think you're a good coach, you know what makes you a good coach? Fucking coaching.
Literally,
Get
like
out there and coach. So I love that. Like we've had a backwards and forwards rant. Yeah, one of the biggest things that I see that really holds trainers back, and it's almost like it's a massive red flag for me as a mentor. If someone comes in and they're like, I don't think people in my gym want PT.
yeah,
As
people
soon
mistake
as
it.
as soon as I hear that, I'm like, I feel
But
like
it's like I've had people say that in my gyms and I'm at capacity. Like it's like, well, do they not want PT or have you not asked?
right, 100%.
Like,
Yeah.
like people, no, probably not a lot of people probably want PT. A lot of people probably don't even know what a PT does, doesn't know what it's like. Like, but they're never going to know and they're never going to say yes if one, you're not in their face asking, talking to them, meeting them, like saying hello or telling people what you do or just offering your services or actually just doing the work to let more people know
Yeah.
what they can achieve with a PT.
Like the blue elephant theory, right? If I tell you not to think of a blue elephant, what do you
It's
think of?
relevant, obviously.
So
Like
what you filter for, you find. So if you believe there are no people that want PT in your,
there are people.
that is all you will see. So the better question to ask is if you're in that state and you believe there's no one in the gym for PT, the better question to ask is how do I find the people that want PT? Like
Mm,
that is a question that can get you out of that hole. But like I said, it's almost a red flag for me with trainers if they say that. It's almost like they're too far gone. And I'm like, how am I going to get them back out of this mindset to
yeah.
actually see that there are people there? And yeah, it's crazy. Like the amount of people that I've just approached to talk to. And yeah, there's a lot of people that say no, but there were a lot of yeses. There might have been a handful of yeses, and that makes a big difference to your business. So
Especially if you're starting off and you've got zero clients, then getting one client
it's
is
massive.
already huge. So
Yeah.
like and like if getting one client means you have to talk to 20 people,
Yeah.
and then like go talk to 20
But
people.
those 20 people make you confident as well for the next 20 and the next. I have watched trainers petrified to go talk to a person. The first one they talk to, they're like, oh, that's not so bad. The second one, they're like, oh, that's okay. And the third one, they're like, oh, this is easy. What was I stressing about? And then you know, rather than spending months stressing about talking to people, you just get it straight away done. This is what I loved about coaching you is you just went and you did everything every single week, no matter how uncomfortable you felt with it. And that's why you are the coach you are today, not because of any of the coaches that you've had or the mentors that you've had. It's because you got the support, but you implemented everything and you've built everything to where it is today, based on your values and trial and error and just doing the work. And so, yeah, I've just absolutely loved watching your journey, Tan. I just think you are so inspiring and amazing. And I think what you're doing for your clients is phenomenal. And the fact that you invest in mentoring, in coaching, in upskilling. I know you went to Melbourne to learn some things on the weekend, and your clients are so lucky to have you because you are just constantly investing in yourself. And that's an investment in them as well. And that's the reason you have such an amazing community because you are just like this magnet that just draws in people that just want to be in your orbit and your energy because you're just such an inspiring human because of the way you show up for yourself. And I absolutely admire you, and I know that your clients absolutely adore you as well. So, thanks so much for chatting with me today. It's been amazing. I can't believe we've beat an hour.
Yeah,
um,
just
but thank you so, so much. I can't wait to see what you are going to do in the future.
thank you.